organizations that came together under the Mass Creates umbrella to make sure that we had this evening. I'm going to try to keep my opening shorter so that we can get to more of the questions, and I'll just start by saying it's so important to have this conversation today and to be in conversation with the arts and culture community, because this is something that has been so personal to me my entire life. I am the oldest kid in an immigrant family, and before I could even speak words, the arts and music in particular were a part of our lives, as my parents really used music as a way to transcend language barriers, cultural barriers, and to find the way to be themselves in a new country with lots of unfamiliar people and barriers all around. And so as a child and later on as someone who was making my way through life, it was always important to me to stay connected to the arts, and I still feel most myself when I'm in front of a piano. I learned piano only to accompany my mom, who's a singer, and so the arts has always been about people coming together to build community and to find and connect in the way that you can only connect beyond words, transcending all of the usual boundaries and boxes that we're in. As a city councilor, my very first assignment was to chair the city council's Arts and Culture Committee back in the day. So over a decade ago, I had the chance to be part of the Boston Creates process, if any of you remember way back in 2014, where for the first time in a long time, arts organizations came together, and there were lots of gaps and issues and needs to talk about. And I'm so excited and proud that so many years later, many of the issues are still major issues we have to tackle, but the relationships and the ecosystem is so much closer knit and put through action, and that muscle having been built every single day. I know that arts, as has already been said, aren't a nice to have, and I hope that we can prove that over the last 3 years our administration has demonstrated arts aren't a luxury. It's infrastructure, it's workforce, it's our economy, it's community, it's healing, it's how to deliver every other issue that we're working on. So I'm proud that we have invested more in the arts than any other administration. We put $26 million into arts organizations, individual artists, trying to fight and halt the tide of displacement with preserving spaces like Humphrey Street Studios or Charlestown Rehearsal Spaces, or relocating artists to 55 Morrissey while 290 North Beacon and Alston Brighton is underway. Everywhere possible, we're trying to make it so that everyone has arts access.